Hi there, I'm Lillian. Just Lillian. I'm not a psychologist or a theologian. I haven't been to Bible college or any place that might give me some kind of credentials that separate me out as especially holy in knowledge. Who I am is a survivor. I'm a sister in Christ who believed all the Christian teachings on marriage and lived them out. I ended up trapped in an abusive marriage for almost 34 years, not even realizing it was abuse. That last phrase, not even realizing it was abuse, isn't something to brush aside the way I did for so many years. If your marriage has lots of conflict, it might be the key to understanding your own situation. Through that journey, I've accumulated some interesting and some disturbing knowledge about how wolves in sheep's clothing can stay hidden in marriage and even thrive within the Christian community and churches. This clip is taken from my main video titled Function versus Emotions: How Understanding This Difference Can Save Your Marriage. You can find the link for that in the description box and at the end of the video. When a man is cleaving only to her body instead of the whole woman, mind, soul, and spirit, all of her femininity, what a man is doing is treating her like a prostitute or dehumanizing her to the level of masturbating to an image from porn. When a woman is obligated to duty sex through marriage, it's biologically impossible for her to be aroused. Christianity's teaching on marriage has basically locked wives into a dutiful mindset. You know what that is? It's thinking like a man. So wives believe and follow the masculine paradigm. They give and give and give sex in hopes of getting that relationship attachment and connection. That's how masculinity operates. Men give, then get. Femininity was designed by God as an opposing polarity to masculinity, not to be an equal one. Estrogen was created specifically to not operate the same way. Femininity was created as an embodiment. She receives, then responds. Women get first, then give. A man's sexual arousal is evident, right? The proof that a man doesn't understand femininity is that he thinks his wife's sexuality is exactly like his. It's just hidden inside her body. And you can't see it like you can see his. So when she says no to his sexual advances, he thinks it's because the arousal is there inside her. She's just withholding it from him. Instead of seeing the truth that if a wife's not turned on, it's a signal to him that he hasn't invested into her or their friendship. He hasn't done the work of contributing to the one flesh relationship in order to organically create sexual arousal in his wife's body, so that her desire for sex will match his. There's nothing wrong with you, sister. You're not broken. Your body is responding or not responding exactly the way God designed it to. If you don't like sex, I can guarantee your husband isn't cleaving to you. He might be doing things for you, like he does nice things for other people, even other women, like acts of kindness. But that's not what it means to be cleaved to. If you don't experience his cleaving coming into your heart, that means he's not intentional about chasing you. It means he's not deliberately pursuing you, and that's why you feel nothing coming from him. Because in order to receive his cleave, there has to be something coming from him towards you. All relationships are built on that reciprocal paradigm. It's just different for men than it is for women. I have a video that talks about relational reciprocity. It's called A One Flesh Relationship is About Friendship, Not Function, Part 3. I'll put it in the description box and I'll link it above for you. Nobody had taught me the difference between analyzing in my head and feeling in my heart. I didn't understand that my right way of thinking was to feel first, then analyze. Nobody had taught me how to name the emotions that I was feeling or how to experience. Nobody ever told me that my feelings and emotions are good and that they're part of being female. I had only ever been told to try harder and not cry. Don't be so sensitive. Don't be such a baby. You're so emotional. You're so moody. When a little girl is told to only express happiness and good and positive, and she's only accepted for doing that, she fractures her psyche in order to be protected and fit in and be accepted. A little girl sacrifices her true, authentic femininity, which is who she is, for attachment to the primary caregiver, so that they will be pleased with her. So what happens is that whenever you experience any feelings or emotions that are not appropriate, you refuse to feel them and you push them down inside instead of feeling your way through them, instead of understanding what they mean and learning how to process and manage them. The unspoken message we hear as little girls is that when we feel feelings, any feelings that are anything different other than happy or nice, any feelings that make people uncomfortable, those are bad and weak. And we internalize that to be, we are bad and weak. And that means there's something wrong with us. So, you fake. You pretend you don't feel like you really do. And instead, you pretend that you don't have all of that estrogen inside your body that's busting because it's so full of feelings and emotions, so that you can act like a boy who's got very little estrogen. Then that little girl grows up to be a woman, and she's thinking like a man now because she's still suppressing all those emotions. And that's dangerous to us because one of the main purposes of all those juicy feelings is for self-protection and guarding our heart. So we continue to feed on breadcrumbs, blind to the damage we're causing in our own mind and heart. If you're experiencing disconnection and lack of intimacy and emotional attachment in your marriage, now you have a name for it. It's breadcrumbing. You know you don't like it, but at the same time, you feel powerless to change anything because you don't know what that change should even look like. You know you don't like the feeling, but you've believed that your feelings are not trustworthy, and in the past, as a little girl, they got you shunned or belittled or they embarrassed you. And now in marriage, you're told to live in duty and function, not emotion. Christianity perpetuates the lie that females don't have or need the high levels of emotions that God created them with. Do you see how cruel that is to femininity? A man is told he can still have his primary masculine desire of needing sex. Even though he's now a husband, his masculinity as a man still matters. But the subversive message that Christianity gives to a woman is that her primary feminine desire of needing emotional attachment and connection, that because she's now a wife, her femininity as a woman no longer matters. What that means is that instead of masculinity providing the source for femininity in a relationship, like he did before marriage, now all her emotional attachment and connection is expected to be sourced from the duty and function within the role called wife. Her source is now a job description, a dead source, instead of a live masculine creature. If you've ever wondered why sexual desire dies so fast after marriage, that's the answer. Masculinity has ceased cleaving to femininity.